Hello folks, how's everybody doing tonight? It's Matt from HumbysHive. I'm going to be scrolling tonight. Just want to show you what I'll be working on. I had a friend from church who brought this to me and asked me if I could give them a hand. This is a piece off of a record player that they have sitting around their house, and as you can see, we had some broken pieces right there, so they asked me if I could fix it. So this is just 1/8" plywood. So I found another piece. I traced over the image, as you can see. Traced that onto my new piece, and we've drilled some holes in it. So that's what we're gonna work on tonight. Cut that down so when we're all said and done, this new piece is gonna fit inside here. And then I'm gonna stain this for them, clean it up a little bit. And they'll be able to put that back into their record player. So if you got any questions, feel free to ask. Hey Ken from Australia, how's it going? I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna flip this camera around. All right. Light out of there. Hopefully that's a pretty good angle for everybody. So we'll get started on a couple of these holes on the edge here. Ken, I'm using 1/8" just Baltic birch plywood. I'm using the number 2 modified geometry blade. So yeah, it was just a broken piece we're gonna fix up for him. I'll give you guys the best angle for this. How about that? Let me know if that's not a good angle and I can adjust it. Hope everybody had a good Christmas. Hopefully you got to see some of your family and relax a little bit. let's try that one. So if you're just tuning in or you didn't catch the first part, I'm working on a piece for a gentleman at church. It's for a record player. This is a screen that goes in front of the record player. As you can see, the one that he had originally was broken. So we just traced the design on another piece and we're going to cut it out. So that broken part down there was a little tough to get the right. You can see the lines to line up, but I think I got it pretty good. Yeah, I think it's going to turn out all right. I think they're going to be happy. So the scroll saw is very versatile in that it can handle a lot of different things. Something like this to making signs and crafts. All sorts of stuff. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to write them in. I'll be watching as I'm scrolling, try to answer them. This is my first time back in the shop since Christmas. Actually, just about a week now. I took a few days off. Felt like I was pulling some late nights trying to get Christmas orders finished up, and thankfully I did. And it was good. Got to spend Christmas with my family. But yeah, so this was the first day back. These are cool little hexagons. Maybe I can use these, save these, and use these for something. I'll come up with something for those. See, I'm getting rusty. Haven't been out here. I'm a little rusty. As I'm cutting this, I'm kind of just looking at this design, and I kind of wish I had put another piece of plywood underneath here, stack cut this. It's kind of a cool design. You can see it possibly being filled in with epoxy or something like that. I don't know. I'm just kind of messing around in my head. Someone asking a question. Does the needle always come off each time as you go to the next piece? Yeah, Cheryl. I think Dave was answering. It is a blade, not a needle. It clamps to the top and the bottom here, and then with this white, I don't call it a switch, called just this lever. Yeah, lever. It applies the tension to the blade. You can kind of hear that. So that's for inside cuts. You release this lever and the thumb screw, and then the blade becomes free. Tighten it back up and push the lever back, and now you have your tension again. So that's how you do each inside cut, and I have pilot holes in each one of these spaces. Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you're just doing outside cuts, then you don't need to release the blade, just when you're transitioning to each piece. So hopefully that answers. And Dave, yeah, thanks for answering that too. Sorry, I missed that question earlier. That one messed me up. I had 2 pilot holes in there, and I thought I was done. I still had to get to the second one. Bend my blade. Saw something. Someone write in. Hello from North Wales, UK. Good evening. Might not be evening where you are though, probably. Alright, that's all the outside triangles, as you can see. So I'll move towards the inside. I'll cut out all these little squares. Make sure I didn't miss any questions. Okay. Sorry, without my camera girl in here, it gets kind of quiet. She's the one that keeps me talking, which I guess is okay. I'm all silent. So I have an X-Minister EX21 with Pegasus blade clamps, fantastic saw. So you put the blade clamps on your saw. That's awesome. I know that I did that on another saw that I had too. It made a load of difference. It seemed that the blades would always slip out of the clamp at the top, which wasn't fun when you're working and all of a sudden, your blade doesn't snap, but it just comes out. So I was definitely, when I upgraded to the Pegasus chuck head here on the saw, it made a world of difference. The blade, I never had a blade slip once after that. And then shortly after I got that chuck head, I upgraded to this Pegasus, and again, I can't recall a single time when I've had this blade slip out. These number 2 blades, I tend to snap them if I over tighten. The easiest way that I can kind of describe to everyone is on these number 2s, because they're so thin, it's very easy to snap them. I'm going to pull out a number 2, and let's see. This is the number 3. So hopefully we can see next to one another. You can see the difference. The number 2 and the number 3, you can see the size difference, how thin the number 2 is. So just a habit that I've kind of come along with is I leave a little bit of slack when I'm putting the blade on, if you can kind of see that. So I don't feed the blade up into the top of the chuck head all the way. Let's see if I can get a better angle on this. So when I put the blade in, I just leave a little bit of slack. It's focusing on my hand. Just leave a little bit of slack down when I tighten that thumb screw. As you can see, it's got a little bit of play in it. And that way when I pull the tension, I still get the right tension that I want, but because they're so thin, sometimes they will break. And so that's kind of just a trick that I've come up with. Sometimes I do forget to do that, and then as soon as I pull this lever back, snap, and then you got to replace it. But I prefer these number 2s. I do use the number 3 also. That's probably my second go-to. This would be the number 3. And I found these little test tubes, and I put them in there, and then I just put the sticker on that came on the bag. So I have those readily available. As you can see, I have quite a few of those in there. And then again, the go-to ones that I typically use are these number 2s. And again, I did the same thing, just took the sticker off the bag and put it in there, and I have quite a bit of them. I try to stay stocked up. If you guys are looking for blades or any other parts or stuff for the scroll saw, you can go on Bear Woods and you can use code HUMBY. That'll get you 5% off at checkout. So feel free to use that. I use it. Saves me some money. If I can help anybody else too. So Mike's a simple project tonight. Yeah, Mike, this is pretty simple. If anybody's just tuning in, I'll show you again. This was part of a record player. If I can show that, it's a screen to a record player. So this was broken. Someone at church asked me to fix this for them. So I am cutting the new one. I traced this out. You can see it was broken. So just 1/8 inch plywood, super easy. So yeah, I figured this was a simple project for a Thursday night. Straight lines, nothing fancy. So I saw Mike asked another question. Have you ever used the scroll saw sanders? I have not used them. I do have some. Let's see if I knock everything else down. Yeah, so I have these sanders, these Pegasus scroll saw sanders. I've yet to use them. I do have some on hand, but this is a 240 grit, and I think this goes just like the blade does, clamps in the top, clamps in the bottom, to get into these tight spots or these inner spots. You can use it and you'd be in the place of the blade. Mike, have you ever used them? And if you have, do you recommend them? I'd love to hear feedback on that. Typically, just I'm using a piece of sandpaper, or a file, small file if it's if I need to get into a really tight spot. Mike says no, I haven't ever used them. Yeah, maybe I'll on one of these lives I'll throw it in and check it out. So here's another one that I haven't opened yet. This looks like it comes with an 80, a 20, and a 120 and a 320. These are Pegasus scroll saw sandpaper. So you can get these at Bearwoods too. That's where I picked these up. That's where I get all my blades. Yeah, I haven't tried them. I should give them a shot. I think I tend to forget that I have them until I'm done sanding by hand. I imagine they would make the job a little bit easier. now just the last three center ones. I keep knocking this. I'm going to back it up a little bit. Is that leather on the base? The base of the saw? Who asked this? Is that Becky? Are you asking about the saw base? Because this is metal. I'm wondering what part you're thinking is leather. Let me know. Nope, you're wrong. Oh, no worries. No problem. Okay, last one. There we go. That's the luck, right? Right at the last one. But, again, this is the reason I always have backups. Backup blades. And if you were watching earlier, I explained why I leave the tension, or why I leave some slack in the tension, and that's the exact reason. But changing these blades are so easy. My first saw, I had to use a tool. It just took forever just to change a blade. But this Pegasus is so easy. Back up and running. We're almost back to work. Again, what I tried to do is I leave a little slack. If you can see that, there's a little bit of play in the blade, which I probably didn't do the last time. And I still have my tension, as you can hear. And how good does a new blade cut? Man, makes a big difference too. we go. And that one is done. So let me switch this around. I'll turn this back. So if you guys were just tuning in, or if you saw the end, we cut this pattern out. Like I said, I wish I had stack cut this. I would have used it maybe to fill it with epoxy or something like that, because it looks really cool. But it came from this piece right here, which was part of a record player. So someone asked me to fix this. Looks like it's been fixed before, so I just decided to cut them a new one. I traced the pattern onto this one. Super simple. There was a spot where it's broken that I had to kind of figure out the lines and everything like that, but matched it up pretty well. And now, there we go. So I'll stain this for them, and I'll put there's a little piece of wood or nails that we're holding it in, so we'll do that. I'll sand this all down for them. It'll look nice. I don't know if they want some sort of screen. There was some kind of cloth that's still on the back of this one. You can kind of see it there. But yeah, so again, this scroll saw is so versatile. You can use it for so many things. It just doesn't have to be crafts and signs, and those things are awesome, and I love using it for those. But we just repaired this record player, a record player screen, so they'll be able to put this back in, and hopefully it'll look good as new. So hey, I appreciate you guys for watching. Everybody have a happy New Year, stay safe, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, we'll see ya.